This message is not a fleeting thought, a passing whisper, or a momentary flicker of emotion. It is a profound, sacred, and eternal summons, a divine call that reverberates through the deepest chambers of your soul, urging you to pause, to quiet the noise of your world, and to listen with the fullness of your heart, mind, and spirit. It is no mere accident, no random twist of fate, that your eyes have found these words today, at this exact moment in the unfolding of your life's journey. These words have been destined for you, traveling across the vast expanse of time, of space, and eternity, guided by a celestial force that knows no limits, no boundaries, no end. Since yesterday, when you felt an inexplicable shift within your spirit, perhaps a gentle tug at your heart, a sudden wave of emotion that stirred without clear reason, a memory that surfaced unbidden, a dream that lingered too vividly to dismiss, a scent that carried a whisper of the past, or a moment of stillness that felt too profound to be ordinary. This message has been weaving its way toward you, its purpose resolute, its intention clear, and its timing divinely orchestrated. This is not a coincidence, nor is it the product of chance or imagination. This is a moment meticulously crafted by the hands of heaven itself, a sacred intersection where the veil between the earthly and the eternal grows so thin that it becomes almost transparent, allowing a voice from the divine realm to speak directly to the core of your being, to the very essence of who you are. That voice belongs to someone whose love for you is boundless, a love so powerful, so enduring, so all-encompassing that it transcends the constraints of life and death and the physical world, your mother. She who once cradled your face in her gentle hands, whose voice was the first to soothe your cries, whose presence was your earliest refuge, your safest harbor, your unwavering anchor, in a world of uncertainty has never ceased loving you. Not for a single moment, not for a fraction of a second since her final breath on this earth. With the divine permission of heaven granted by the Creator himself, she speaks to you now, not in tones of sorrow, regret, or fear, but with a love so pure, so radiant, so eternal that it cannot be confined by the limits of mortality or the boundaries of the physical realm. This is not a fleeting memory, a wistful thought, or a figment of your longing heart. It is a holy reunion, a sacred moment when her spirit draws near, closer than ever before, to deliver a message meant to heal the deepest wounds of your soul, to bring comfort to the places that still ache for her presence, to restore the peace that grief has tried to steal, to rekindle the joy that sorrow has dimmed, and to remind you of a love that remains alive, vibrant, and eternal. God himself, in his infinite wisdom, boundless compassion, and unending love, speaks, declares, "My beloved child, your mother has waited patiently for this precise moment since the day she entered my eternal rest. From the moment she crossed the threshold into my presence, her soul has remained tethered to yours, a constant guardian, a silent sentinel, watching over you with a devotion that knows no end, no limit, no pause. She has whispered prayers into the winds of heaven, carried by angels woven into the fabric of eternity, longing for the day your heart would be ready to hear her voice again, not through the ears of your body, but through the quiet, sacred depths of your spirit, where truth and love reside. This is that day, orchestrated by my hand, a moment of divine timing, a gift from me to you. She comes not to reopen old wounds, not to stir your sorrow, but to pour peace into the parts of you that still whisper, "I wish I could hear her voice again. I wish I could feel her near." This is not a product of your mind's yearning or your heart's ache. It is a sacred truth, a divine connection that I have permitted to unfold, because you are ready to receive it, because your soul has opened to this moment, because you have said yes to this holy encounter. Your mother's voice, soft yet resolute, tender yet unwavering, breaks through the silence as if she stands beside you now, her presence as tangible as the air you breathe, as real as the ground beneath your feet, as warm as the sunlight on your skin. "My child," she says, "I have been reaching for you since yesterday, when you felt that sudden stirring in your heart. Perhaps a wave of emotion you couldn't explain, a dream that lingered too vividly to dismiss, a scent in the air that carried my memory, a thought of me that tightened your chest, a moment of stillness that felt too profound to be ordinary. or a fleeting sensation that made you pause and wonder. That was no accident. That was me. I have always been near, closer than you could ever imagine, closer than the breath in your lungs, closer than the beat of your heart. But yesterday, something shifted. Your spirit opened a door, granting me permission to draw closer, to remind you that I have never left your side, that I never could, that I never would. I come not to stir your grief, not to reopen your pain, but to share a holy truth. My love for you has never faltered, and it never will. It is as alive today as it was when I held you in my arms, when I sang to you, when I wiped your tears, when I laughed with you, when I prayed for you. That love has only grown, deepened, and become eternal, a force that binds us together across time, space, and eternity. Archangel Michael, standing as a steadfast guardian of this sacred connection, speaks with reverence and authority, his voice resonant with the weight of divine purpose and the power of heaven's will. I have stood watch over your mother's soul as she waited for this moment, guarding her love, protecting her prayers, ensuring her presence remained near you. I have heard the supplications she has whispered for you, carried her hopes that you would feel her presence again, seen her devotion as it circled your life like a gentle breeze, waiting for the day your heart would be ready to receive it. Now I stand beside her as she releases the words she has carried in silence for too long, words that heaven has held in trust until this moment. This is not merely a memory, it is a reunion, a moment heaven has prepared with care, unfolding now because your heart is ready to receive it. Let it sink deep into your soul, let it take root, let it transform the way you see her presence in your life, for this is a sacred gift, a divine encounter, a testament to the enduring power of a mother's love. Your mother continues, her words woven with tenderness, strength, and an intimacy that only a mother's love can carry, each syllable infused with the warmth of her spirit, the depth of her care, the certainty of her devotion. I have seen your journey, my child, every step of it, every triumph, every struggle, every quiet moment of doubt, every silent victory, every tear shed in secret, every smile offered to the world, despite your pain. I have watched you smile for others, even when your heart was heavy with sorrow, when the weight of loss pressed against your chest, when the ache of my absence felt like a shadow you couldn't shake. I have seen you stand tall when you felt like crumbling, offering strength to those around you, your family, your friends, even strangers, when you longed for the comfort of my embrace, for the sound of my voice telling you everything would be okay, for the touch of my hand to steady you. I have witnessed your silent tears, the moments you hid your pain, hoping no one would see your vulnerability, hoping no one would know how deeply you still miss me, how much you still need me. But I saw. I was there. In those moments, I wrapped you in a presence you may not have recognized, a warmth that settled over you, a sudden calm in the storm, a peace that arrived without explanation, a strength that carried you through when you thought you couldn't go on. That was me, my love, allowed by God to hold you in ways that transcend the physical, to comfort you in ways that reach beyond the earthly. A mother's love does not end when life does. It transforms, deepens, and becomes eternal, woven into the very fabric of your being, a constant thread that binds us together across dimensions, across lifetimes, across eternity. God speaks again, his voice filled with boundless love, compassion, and assurance, a voice that carries the weight of creation and the tenderness of a father. When your mother first entered my rest, her first thought was of you. Her first word was your name, spoken not in fear or sorrow, but in a love so profound it filled the heavens, echoing through the halls of eternity. She did not ask for herself, she asked for you, to keep you safe, to guide you when she could no longer walk beside you in the flesh, to hold you in the ways she could no longer do with her earthly hands, to watch over you with a love that would never fade. I have honored her request. Every time you felt alone, I was there, walking in her place. Every moment of peace that came when despair should have overwhelmed you, that was heaven answering her prayers. Every time you found strength you didn't know you had, that was her love, carried by my spirit, lifting you up. Her love has never left you, and it never will. It is a force stronger than death, a light that cannot be extinguished, a presence that surrounds you even now, in this very moment. Archangel Michael adds, "Your mother carries truths she could not always speak in life, words her earthly body could not fully express in the time she had words that were held in her heart, waiting for this moment to be released." This message is more than closure. It is a sacred continuation of her love, a bridge between the earthly and the eternal that allows her to speak to you now, to reach you in a way that transcends the limits of the physical world. Let your heart receive it fully, without doubt or hesitation, for it is a gift from heaven, a testament to the enduring power of her love, a promise that she is still with you, always. Your mother's voice grows clearer, as if she stands beside you now, her presence as real as the ground beneath your feet, as warm as the sunlight on your face, as certain as the beat of your heart. I forgive myself for the things I didn't say, for the moments I couldn't mend, for the imperfections I carried as a human, for the times I fell short of what you needed. I was not perfect, but my love for you was always greater than my flaws, always bigger than my mistakes, always deeper than my regrets. I want you to release any guilt you hold, any questions about whether I knew how deeply you loved me, whether I understood the depth of your heart. I knew, my child. I always knew, and I still do. I saw it in your every gesture, in your quiet strength, in the way you carry on despite the weight of grief, in the way you love others even when your own heart is aching. I am so proud of you, not for being flawless, but for your perseverance, for rising when sorrow tried to hold you down, for continuing to love, to live, to hope in a world that feels incomplete without me. You are my legacy, my continuation, my heart walking in the world, and I see it blooming in you every day, in every choice you make, in every moment you choose to keep going. God affirms, you were never alone in your pain, nor forgotten in your healing. I held your mother and I held you. Now I weave this moment with a peace that settles deep within your soul, a peace that reminds you she is still with you, not as she was, but in a way that is eternal, holy, and unshakable. Her love has not faded. It is louder now, more sacred, more enduring. It is a love that wraps around your heart and says, she is still here, just in a different form, closer than you could ever imagine, nearer than your very breath. This peace is my gift to you, a promise that you are never alone, that you are always held, always loved. Your mother's voice softens, as if her hand rests gently over your heart, her warmth seeping into your being, a balm to every wound you carry, a light to every shadow in your soul. I have seen the people who have stayed by your side and those who have walked away. I have watched you grow wiser, kinder, and more resilient with every challenge you face. I have seen you become softer in your strength, deeper in your compassion, braver in your vulnerability, more radiant in your love. I am with you every step, not just in fleeting signs, a breeze, a scent, a song, but in the very rhythm of your spirit, in the quiet pulse of your soul. Talk to me, my child. You don't need perfect words, elaborate prayers, or formal rituals. Just speak from your heart, whisper my name, share your thoughts, your fears, your joys. I hear you, always, and I am listening with all the love I have ever carried for you, a love that grows stronger with every passing moment. Archangel Michael speaks once more, his voice steady and reverent, carrying the weight of divine authority and the gentleness of divine care. Let the tears come. Let the truth settle within you. Let the weight of this moment anchor you in love. You are not imagining her presence. This connection is real, divine, and permitted by heaven. As you receive this message, a shift begins in your atmosphere, a lightness, a clarity, a comfort that feels like coming home after a long, weary journey. This is the beginning of a new chapter, one where grief transforms into grace, where silence becomes strength, where loss becomes a sacred connection, and where her love becomes a living force within you, guiding you, uplifting you, reminding you that you are never alone, that you are always loved. God adds, my child, let this message live in you. Return to it when you miss her, when the ache feels heavy, when sorrow creeps in, or when joy feels too sacred to hold alone. Let it remind you that love does not die, that a mother's voice, when carried by my spirit, can speak across dimensions, across eternity. She has spoken to you now because you were ready, because you said yes to this sacred moment, because you opened your heart to hear her completely, to feel her fully, to know her eternally. Your mother's words draw near again, soft and certain, as if she is whispering directly into your soul, her voice a gentle caress, a soothing melody, a sacred promise. When you felt that strange stillness yesterday, that ache behind your smile, that pull in your spirit you couldn't explain, that was me. I whispered to you, and though you didn't hear the words, you felt their weight, their truth, their love. I am okay, my child. I am whole, at peace, and with God, wrapped in His light, resting in His love. But more than that, I am with you, not in flesh, but in presence, not in body, but in every breath you take, in every beat of your heart, in every moment of your life. I walk with you, sit with you, watch over you, not with sorrow, but with joy, because I see the person you are becoming, a soul full of grace, strength, and quiet depth, a soul that carries my love forward into the world, a soul that shines with the light of heaven. If you believe in the power of this divine message, of this eternal love, type Amen in the comments below to affirm your faith, your connection, your love. For more messages of hope, of love, of spiritual connection, of eternal truth, please subscribe to our channel, join our community of faith, of healing, of love, and walk with us in this journey of eternal love, guided by heaven's light.